With signs of a terrifying apocalypse appearing each day, there is no doubt we are getting closer and closer to the end.
It is incredible how things are looking like right now.
Lands are revealing ancient secrets, skies are taking a nightmarish turn, and waters are becoming ominous. Is something big about to happen? Let's find out.
The shroud is believed to be a holy relic because you don't get much more holy than the actual blood of Jesus.
A few years back, Iraq celebrated a historic moment when the Gilgamesh Tablet was finally returned to its homeland.
The Gilgamesh Tablet is a clay tablet dating back more than 3,500 years. It has Sumerian engravings on it. Our embassy in Washington received it from the Holy Bible Museum.
Though it may appear as just a simple clay piece, it is one of the world's most valuable artifacts. Experts say this ancient tablet contains literature that dates back thousands of years, offering a fascinating glimpse into life over a millennium ago. Stolen from Iraqi museums in the 1990s, it was sold to a church using forged documents. Fortunately, in 2019, the tablet surfaced at an auction in the United States. With the help of the UN's cultural organization, it was recovered and returned to Iraq, restoring a piece of their rich heritage.
This tablet is laden with deep symbolism in two respects. It's a message to all those who smuggled our artifacts and auctioned them. They should know that we'll end up retrieving what they had stolen.
Shroud of Turin.
Shroud of Turin is this amazing relic. At bottom, it's a piece of cloth. It shows a very faint sort of image of a crucified man.
On June 21st, 2015, Pope Francis prayed before the Shroud of Turin in a cathedral in Turin, Italy, marking its first public display in over 5 years. This ancient linen cloth, about 14 feet long, is believed to be the burial cloth of Jesus, with faint images of a crucified man thought to be the imprint of Jesus after the resurrection.
All 4 of the Gospels mention that Jesus was taken down from the cross. He was wrapped in linen, and then his body was put in the tomb.
Many believers think that the shroud is a holy relic, said to hold the remains of Jesus. The shroud first appeared in history in 1389 in France and was brought to Turin in 1578. However, its authenticity has been questioned. A 1988 radiocarbon test dated it to medieval times, but later research showed the sample came from a patch, not the original cloth. Despite the doubts, the shroud remains an important symbol of faith for many.
And so the shroud is believed to be a holy relic because you don't get much more holy than the actual blood of Jesus.
Staff of Moses. Apart from being an important Byzantine monument, Hagia Sophia used to hold some great discoveries, like this Staff of Moses, perfectly preserved. This magical staff has great religious importance. This staff is believed to be the one used in the most historic moment, to separate the Red Sea to help Moses and his believers to pass safely. Today, this staff is on display for tourists at the Topkapi Palace. Chapel of Ascension.
Ascension Chapel at Mount of Olives, entering to the most important place.
Now let's go all the way to a chapel in Jerusalem, the Chapel of Ascension. The place holds immense importance for Christians from all over the world, as they believe Jesus ascended to heaven from this very chapel. This round memorial chapel preserves the story of the significant event. Visitors come in to see the central spot known to be the place of the Ascension. Inside, people are also allowed to touch the sacred stone, a powerful connection to the past. This historic site, rich in religious significance, continues to gather people of many faiths to Jerusalem.
Look at that. This is where Jesus ascended into heaven.
Dinosaur Discovery.
When I looked at it, it was very, very obviously a bone.
Here, this is the site where Nathan made his first discovery.
While hiking through the west of Drumheller, a 12-year-old Calgary boy named Nathan made a remarkable discovery, a 69-million-year-old dinosaur fossil.
This is the upper arm bone, or what we call a humerus, of a young duck-billed dinosaur, or hadrosaur.
His excitement was immeasurable. Nathan and his dad took photos of the fossils and sent them to the Tyrrell Museum. Soon after, an archaeological team arrived and uncovered an upper forearm bone along with a remarkably well-preserved skull of a duck-billed dinosaur. Researchers called it a significant find, as it helps bridge a gap in their studies. With this amazing start, it seems Nathan might have a bright future as a paleontologist.
We found some fragments of fossils down on the valley floor. And then, I said to Nathan, well, if they're down here, that means they're coming from up there.
Trumpet Sounds. Now let's take a look at what happened that made many people think the end times were near. In Jerusalem, people saw a giant cloud-like circle appear in the sky. Not only was the sight weird, people also heard the sounds of trumpets going off. Netizens thought this was a prophecy being fulfilled. According to the Bible, when the end of the world would be near, people would hear the sounds of trumpet. Not only in Jerusalem, residents of Sydney, Australia also heard the strange noises. Could it be a real sign of an impending disaster or just a misunderstanding? Let me know what you think. Dusty clouds. A scorching hot day in Dubai suddenly turned all dusky when massive, dark, dusty clouds took over the skyline. Many locals recorded the scenes in the middle of the day. At around 2 p.m., it looked like the night had fallen.
2:46 p.m. It is incredible how things are looking like right now.
The fact that people hadn't seen a dark day like this in Dubai made it even more strange. People tried to figure out what might have caused the unusual scene. Visibility dropped extremely low in many regions. People found that these dusky clouds were due to a natural phenomenon. Thankfully, no destruction for now. Eclipse. Eclipses hold a lot of significance for any space enthusiast. Back in 2019, people had gathered on the beach to witness the moment of totality. After a while, the moon started to cover the sun, and then it happened. The sun got completely covered by the moon. The bright day went completely dark, like the night had come in a second. Experts suggest wearing protective glasses while watching the eclipse, as eyes can get hurt from some harmful radiations. Red sky. People in Saudi Arabia were left panicking when the sky over their heads suddenly turned red. People thought the end of the world was here and an apocalypse was on its way. But soon, the reality came out, and it was revealed that the red glow in the sky was due to a natural phenomenon. But then a similar red glow appeared in the skies of China. Residents came out of their houses to see what was going on. Some believe the red glow was caused by mysterious alien activity, while others, feeling uneasy, stayed indoors to avoid the unsettling sight. When the brightest red appeared near the port, the truth was revealed. The red lights came from fishing boats at sea. The glow, designed to attract squid, helps fishermen catch them more easily. Egyptian hieroglyphs.
It's from the Old Kingdom, maybe about 400 years before Abraham lived.
It's very old then.
It's very old.
Have you ever thought, where did the alphabet we use today come from? The world's oldest alphabet, surprisingly, has roots in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs dating back to the Old Kingdom, about 400 years before Abraham's time. This early script was created by simplifying 22 hieroglyphic signs into alphabets. For example, the Egyptian wave of water became the letter M in the modern alphabet, also inspired by the Hebrew word ma'im for water. Over centuries, this script evolved and later developed into Phoenician. From there, it branched into other alphabets like Old Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek, eventually shaping many of today's writing systems. While its exact connection to Hebrew is still debated, this ancient innovation laid the foundation for how we write today.
Here's a wave of water. When you convert this into a proto-consonantal alphabetical letter in Hebrew, this becomes the M, because for Hebrews, water is mayim.
Cave of Horrors.
Now, this is quite a discovery. Fragments of a biblical scroll, along with other relics, have been found in desert caves in Israel.
Experts were baffled when fragments of biblical scrolls were unearthed in Israel's Judean desert and are now considered a groundbreaking archaeological discovery. These ancient texts, written in Greek, provide insights into Jewish history and religious traditions. Found in the Cave of Horror, the scroll fragments include verses from the Hebrew Bibles. Alongside other relics, this was the first discovery of its kind in over 60 years. This invaluable find offers a clearer understanding of historical Jewish contexts and is celebrated as a significant contribution to humanity's knowledge of the past.
Over 60 years, we have fragments of a biblical book that were discovered in an archaeological excavation. It's important also because this is the first time where such fragments are found in an excavation and brought straight here to our laboratory.
Atakama Desert. The Atakama Desert, the driest place on Earth, is seeing something amazing happen. After 5 years of no rain, flowers are finally blooming. This rare event, called a super bloom, draws tourists from all over the world.
It's unpredictable. In the last 40 years, there have been 13 events. Super blooms exist in a few other deserts, like in Southern California, but unlike the Atacama, those deserts are inhabited and already have vegetation.
The Atacama Desert is special because its seeds can stay dormant for years, waiting for the right rain to wake them up.
Arid climate and the cold temperatures at night keep them from rotting. But what's also extraordinary is that for just a very few short months, a mini ecosystem emerges in this normally inhospitable terrain.
For a short time, a mini ecosystem comes to life, with flowers attracting insects, birds, and even guanacos, who eat the plants to get water. But this natural wonder is at risk. Extreme weather, like snow and mudslides, is becoming more common, and the flowers are blooming slower than before. Scientists are now worried that climate change could make these blooms disappear for good.
This plant is called cherky, and its green leaves emerge when it rains. And its leaves are edible. They taste good, even though they're a bit sour.
Locust Swarm. It is believed by many that during the end times, our crops will face more and more locusts attack. Back in 2019, locals in Russia were fighting for their lives when their crops were attacked by a massive horde of locusts. There wasn't even an inch of clear space, flying all over on the ground. The critters seemed to have taken over the region. A group was trying to catch them with fly catchers in hand, but their attempts were fruitless. How could you catch this swarm along? The clip went viral online, and everyone was shocked to see how destructive these tiny critters can be. It takes years for a place to recover from a locust's attack.
3000 банка.
Ark of Covenant. Archaeologists in Jerusalem were stunned when they unearthed this massive box that seemed to match the description of the Ark of the Covenant.
The Bible gives a very clear description as to what the Ark of the Covenant looks like.
According to religious scriptures, the Ark was adorned with 2 angels on top and holds the 10 Commandments, engraved on stone tablets given to Moses.
A sacred box to hold these tablets of the commandments. It's called the Ark of the Covenant.
However, not everyone was convinced. Some argued that according to text, anyone touching the Ark would face instant danger, while others suggested it might simply be the tomb of a wealthy individual from ancient times. Regardless of the theories, the team took their discovery for further examination, eager to uncover the truth behind this extraordinary find.
It's covered entirely in gold, inside and out. It has 4 gold rings on which poles are attached for it to be carried.
Commandments Tablet.
It's the earliest complete stone tablet of the Ten Commandments.
A few days back, an incredibly rare find left many people in awe. The earliest complete stone tablet of the Ten Commandments. According to various passages, these were divinely revealed to Moses on Mount Sinai. Will be auctioned at Sotheby's, New York in December 2024. Such artifacts are incredibly rare, making them all the more valuable. This tablet is the only one that includes the full text. Remarkably, its dimensions match the measurements agreed upon by early 1st century rabbis for the original 10 Commandments. This extraordinary relic provides a great link to ancient history and religious tradition. Oregon fires.
This problem has a lot to do with trees, or more specifically, their roots. Some of them are still on fire, and folks heading up there to check on their homes or fire damage might not even realize it.
Back in 2020, a firefighter was in Detroit over the weekend doing fire mop-up when he came across a serious problem many might miss.
You do not want to fall in that. This is everywhere. We're going to put this out, but these things are all over the hillside.
From above the mound, it looked like a little smoke, but below it was an active fire, just waiting for the chance to get out. Hidden fires can go unnoticed for a long time. Thankfully, this was identified on time, and now the experts are working to put it out. Here's another fire that has been burning under the Eastern State Hospital landfill in Medical Lake for over a year.
Right now, a fire is burning underneath, and it was ignited by the Gray Fire that ripped the area in August of 2023.
Since the Gray Fire in August 2023, despite multiple efforts by fire crews to put it out, the fire continues to smolder underground. The landfill contains mostly concrete, tiles, and other debris, but something deeper may be fueling the flames.
Behind me is the site of the landfill and the underground fire. You can see the orange netting on the outside of the site. And the Department of Ecology says that the landfill is mostly full of concrete and tiles and other debris.
Red rivers. It seems the prophecy about rivers turning red at the end of times has finally come true. But it might not be as ominous as it sounds. When news spread about harbors and rivers in Sydney, Peru, and Nile turning red, people were filled with fear, convinced that a great catastrophe was near. The reports were enough to fuel conspiracy theories. But experts came up with a more logical explanation, saying the red color could be from a sudden increase in shrimp and algae species, or it might be the result of a factory experiment. So, not so creepy after all, right? Tomb of Noori. Watching this clip, you might wonder if it's a piece of ancient ruins floating in the water, but it's actually an archaeological site in Karachi, Pakistan that is sure to leave you amazed. Located in Kinjar Lake, this 15th century structure is the tomb of Noori Jam Tamachi, a fisherwoman. The tomb can only be reached by boat. This monument was built by a local prince in loving memory of his wife. He intentionally chose a spot surrounded by water, honoring her life spent near it. This unique site has become a favorite destination for locals and tourists alike. Winged sculpture. An excavation team made an incredible discovery, a 2,700-year-old sculpture in surprisingly good condition. While exploring the area of Khorsabad, a village in northern Iraq, they stumbled upon this massive 18-ton masterpiece. Experts were amazed at how it remained mostly intact, with minimal damage despite its age. Even the delicate details on its wings were still clearly visible. With careful planning and skilled work, the team successfully brought this ancient treasure to the surface. Sand River. Residents in Iraq were thrilled to witness a rare sight, a river flowing through the desert after what felt like ages. They rushed to capture the moment on their cameras, amazed by the unusual scene. One curious onlooker even scooped up the river to see what it felt like. But unlike ordinary rivers of water, this one was a unique blend of hail, sand, and a little water. Strange for a desert, isn't it? Here's another river falling into a ditch in the Negev desert in Israel. As odd as it sounds, this phenomenon can happen when hailstorms in deserts mix with sand, creating this fascinating and oddly satisfying sight. Noah's Ark.
Plan is to start in this area and then maybe go to the other area 600 kilometers away and do some investigation there as well.
For centuries, historians have been obsessed with the idea of finding Noah's lost Ark. Hopes soared when evidence turned up suggesting its presence on Mount Ararat. According to religious scriptures, Noah built the massive ark to protect his family, himself, and a pair of every animal from an impending disaster. Clues from these texts led researchers to believe the ark rests somewhere in this mountain range. A rock formation resembling a giant boat captured the attention of many experts. Fascinated by its shape and location, over 100 scientists from around the world gathered to investigate and uncover evidence that might confirm the existence of this legendary artifact.
I'm attending the symposium on Noah's Ark, and then I'll do some field work studying the geology of the Ararat region.
Black Canal. You know you're about to get rich or attract some serious attention from the Americans when you stumble upon something like this. A group of tourists spotted oil bubbling up from the sandy surface, sparking dreams of unimaginable fortune. However, this isn't the first time oil has been discovered in the desert. As Arab countries are known for their massive oil reserves, their deserts are always either spouting oil or making small rivers of them. This dark liquid is a cruise form of oil that's later refined and used in various fields. River to nowhere. This clip has been going viral online, and people think this could be a sign of divine power. A guy found this river flowing in full power into nowhere. Yes, you heard that right. The river just disappeared into a bunch of stones. Some people thought the river was flowing underground. Others had ideas about a heavenly intervention. Could it also be a sign of the world's apocalyptic end? Rivers slowly disappearing into nothing and everything coming to an end silently. Receding water. Surprise! Droughts not only cause food disruptions, sometimes they also end up showing prehistoric footprints or fossils. In China, the extreme heat wave and falling water levels in the Yangtze River revealed 3 ancient Buddhist statues after being submerged for 600 years. These statues were found atop the highest part of an island in southwestern China and are thought to date back to the Ming and Qing dynasties. One of the statues features a monk seated gracefully on a lotus pedestal, carved into a striking rock formation. These sculptures offer a fascinating glimpse into the rich heritage of an ancient wisdom tradition. Fish flow. This video from Sindh, Pakistan left people baffled and questioning what's happening in the world. Locals captured footage of an entire river of fish suddenly appearing in the dry, scorching desert. Normally, fish can't survive outside water, so how were these tiny creatures flapping around in such an arid place? Some viewers speculated this was a sign of an impending apocalypse, while others guessed the fish might have fallen from a container that overturned, scattering them onto the hot sand. Yet, no one has been able to confirm where these fish actually came from, leaving room for eerie possibilities and apocalyptic theories. Spring burst. The dry, sandy land of Saudi Arabia isn't like that anymore. Recently, these clips have taken over the internet. With water springs spouting from the desert sand and rivers flowing, the land seems to be reviving. But the people are more worried than happy, and that's because people think deserts flourishing is a sign that the end times are nearing us. There's an ancient prophecy that the world won't end until the land of Arabia becomes suitable for vegetation. What are your thoughts on this? Devil on horizon. While we are on the topic of end times, here's another one. Some people think before the end times arrive, many strange creatures will emerge. And when a guy driving down a road posted this dash camera footage online, people thought those creatures have started coming down. A dark figure with massive wings seemed to be hanging out on the horizon. It looked like the devil himself had arrived and was keeping an eye on us. While many people have dismissed the clip as a hoax, some think this dark shadowy was an other-dimensional entity out there to spread destruction. Here's another clip of a creature that left many scared. While out on an early morning walk, a guy saw this massive being floating in the sky with a huge snake-like body. It had long tentacles hanging down from all over it. In thick fog, the guy couldn't figure out what it was and posted the clip on the internet. Some believe this creature had appeared as a sign of the fulfilled prophecy. Mummified Crocs. An excavation at Kubat al-Hawa in Egypt uncovered a remarkable sight, especially for reptile enthusiasts. A large number of mummified crocodile remains, believed to be over 2,000 years old, were discovered. The workers were amazed at how well preserved the animals were, with their snouts and teeth still intact. This find offered valuable insights into how the ancient Egyptians treated animals and their burial customs. Darwaza Crater. In the blazing desert of Turkmenistan lies a stunning yet eerie sight, the gateway to hell, or the Darwaza natural gas crater. This fiery pit is large enough to swallow a small village and deep enough to leave anyone feeling dizzy. Formed naturally in 1970, the crater has been burning non-stop for over 50 years. However, authorities have now decided to seal it off and extinguish the flames for good. They say the decision was made to protect the environment from pollution and to ensure the safety of people living nearby. Ancient boat. Egypt is known for its ancient history and rich culture, and when a team of archaeologists found this, they were very thrilled. While excavating along the Nile River in Cairo, they unearthed an ancient wooden boat that had been buried for nearly 5,000 years. Near Pharaoh Khufu's Great Pyramid. Due to the fragile state of the wood, it took almost a week to recover just one plank.
They are now trying to lift up very long, big wooden piece. Unfortunately, this boat, the condition of the wood is not so good.
This boat is the second of two, with the first one excavated in 1954 and now displayed in a museum in Giza. Interestingly, both boats were dismantled and buried with instructions for reassembly. Ancient Egyptians believed the boats would carry the pharaoh's spirits to the heavens in the afterlife. Now, experts are working to reconstruct the boat a piece at a time.
This is the lab of the conservation of Khufu's second boat. After he saw the methods of lifting the pieces from the pit, we bring the pieces here.
Giant footprint. Here are more giant footprints from around the world. Could it be the imprint of a giant human foot? Whether real or not, this site in Indonesia has become strong evidence of giant humans that may have once roamed the earth long ago. Every day, hundreds of people visit this mysterious location.
This is just beautiful. Look at this.
Here's another one. While visiting Adams Peak in Sri Lanka, a traveler stumbled upon an extraordinary sight. A massive, human-like footprint etched into the rock, complete with toes and a heel. The footprint seemed deeply embedded in the stone. Locals believe it to be the footprint of Adam, giving the site its name. The scattered coins left by visitors highlight its cultural and spiritual significance.
For everyone to really appreciate this is spectacular.
Blood Moon. Back in November 2022, residents of Tokyo were in for quite a surprise when the night sky featured the moon that looked a bit unusual. Sitting on top of the Tokyo Skytree Tower, the moon had a red hue to it. It was called the blood moon. If you're thinking, why the red hue? Well, that happens when the sun reflects light towards the sun in a certain way. Although it's a natural phenomenon, many locals thought it was dangerous to be out on this moon and stayed indoors. Mysterious cave. This clip might seem like an ordinary journey, but the story behind it is quite interesting. A guy ventured into this remote cave that is thought to be the hiding place of Gog and Magog. According to ancient prophecies, the final battle of good and evil will include Gog and Magog, and now many believing people think this might be a sign that the end of the world might be closer than we think. Although the guy didn't find anything strange in the cave, it's still terrifying to witness something that's been predicted thousands of years ago. Gold coins. An excavation at Banias within the Herman River Nature Reserve, led by the Israel Antiquities Authority, revealed an incredible find: a hoard of 44 gold coins from Byzantine times. The coins dated back to the eras of Emperors Phocas and Heraclius, with the most recent minted around the Muslim conquest in 635 CE. They even had images of the emperor and his sons, hidden in a wall, likely during a time of conflict. The hoard was never recovered. This discovery offered valuable insights into the region's economy. Banias holds historical importance as a religious and strategic site, spanning Roman, Byzantine, and Crusader periods.
במטמון הזה שני קיסרים של המאה השביעית לספירה, פוקס, אבל רוב המטבעות של הרקליוס.
Unicorn.
Unidentified remains.
Unicorns have long captured human imagination through stories, folklore, and movies. The fascination resurfaced in 2007 when a strange footage appeared online. The video featured a vintage wooden case holding what seemed to be the mummified remains of a young unicorn, with spiral horns extending from its head and snout, and skin remarkably intact. The discovery sparked widespread speculation. While some believed it was genuine, skeptics argued it looked too flawless, as if it had been carefully crafted. But I'll leave it to you to decide. Gold discovery. Apart from quickly drying up water, Euphrates seems to hide much more. It is believed that as it continues to dry up, an apocalypse might hit the world. Among other strange discoveries are ancient walls, forgotten cities, and astonishingly large gold deposits near the river. The gold, scattered like stones, has been easy for miners to collect, and not many people were complaining about the receding water levels after this valuable discovery. Experts think the river's shrinking size is due to overuse by farmers, yet the discovery hints at the presence of a massive gold source in the region. Dried up Euphrates. The Euphrates River has been a significant water body due to religious reasons in the Middle East. But recently, it's gaining even more attention. Locals and historians have discovered underground caves and mysterious tunnels near the river. The strange holes in the walls are part of a network of tunnels, seemingly leading to a cave below. What's puzzling everyone is their purpose. No one knows why they were built. Some suggest they served as protection against attackers, while others believe they might hold unearthly creatures trapped inside, as people have heard strange noises coming from the dried-up river. Sinkhole. When pictures of a massive sinkhole surfaced inline, people thought some natural disaster had struck the area. Turns out the 32 meters wide and twice as deep sinkhole had opened up near a copper mine in the Atakama Desert. The sinkhole is located in the Tierra Amarilla municipality, close to the Alcaparrosa mine, which is operated by a Canadian company. Keeping in mind the hazards it may cause, a 100-meter security perimeter has been set up around the hole to ensure safety. Open discussion. A group of European researchers made an astonishing discovery in Iran, uncovering what appeared to be ancient giants seemingly in a state of hibernation. According to ancient myths, such beings used to roam the earth millions of years ago. Some people claim these giants had glowing eyes and were waiting to be woken up once again. Others suggested it was the body of a Sumerian god Gilgamesh. The authenticity of the discovery has been a question, but samples were sent for carbon dating. But the results and research were kept confidential, leaving people to wonder what might be secret of this mysterious find. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.